brace yourself. She's actually doing it. She's doing a Re-Ment review. Hello, everybody. It's Barbara. And this is it. Yep, I'm doing it. This is a Re-Ment review, everybody, of. I have no idea what it is called in English, but it's basically the men's room. And this is the box. Obviously, as you could see from the opening shot, I have everything set up and out. But this is the men's room set. And these are the individual pieces that you would get with it. It is a set of 8 little mini boxes. And this is what an individual box would look like if you got them from Re-Ment. So the purpose of this interview and borrowing Paulo is to show you the scale and what all of this could look like or would look like if you were setting this up as a room set. So let's start first of all with what's on the bed. There's various pieces, and I will show you all of them in turn. So I will also put in the description below the bed, which is really nice, and the dresser, which you'll see in a second. These I got on eBay a while ago. So this is the bed and the dresser are absolutely 1000% not made by Re-Ment, and you'll see an illustration why in a second. But let's start with open up his hand so you can see this. He has a piggy bank. That's his piggy bank. Ah, I knew I was going to do it. Come on. And it does come with a coin, which unfortunately is so small. If you see that it has a hole here, it just went in the hole, and I knew I was going to do something like that. Damn. Please come out. Oh, it's not coming out. But anyway, it does have a piggy bank, and if I hadn't been stupid, the coin would go right in there. So the idea is he saves up his change in a little piggy bank. He also evidently vapes. This is the vape container. It does not open. It might also be a lighter, but I'm not sure. And then this is the vape. And I'm not going to say anything more about that because I don't approve of vaping. But as you can see, if I was going to put it in his hand. Ooh. Sorry, whoops, it's not. The other thing you have to know about Re-Ment is the pieces are very fragile, as I'm quickly showing you by my stupidity. If I was to put this in his hand, I'd have to put it between his fingers. And it looks kind of okay. It looks like a really short vape, but it would work in the 1/6 scale. But this as a lighter in the palm of his hand, that's like a huge lighter. So this is why I'm thinking it's more of a lighter and case for the vape, but it is huge. It almost looks like in the 1/6 scale, it could almost double as like a car clicker. Okay. And like all good young men, he works out. Like all good young men, he works out. He's got some kind of a set of weights or some kind of play toy that goes with the video game set. Hold that thought. And it again, it fits in his hand, but I'm not sure what if I turned it this way and then put it in his other hand, I have no idea what he would do with it, but maybe it's like a little roller, like when you're doing yoga, if he would like to stretch out and roll himself out forward. I don't know. I'm guessing. It also comes with this, although this does rather nicely match his suit, unfortunately, it does not open. It's all plastic. I mean, this would be awesome if it opened because it exactly matches his suit. It's almost like this is supposed to be a briefcase. But again, if you look at it in proportion to him, it's more like it would almost be like a toiletry bag if it opened. I mean, it would be a perfect toiletry bag if it opened. Sadly, it does not. He's also obviously a very neat person. We have his little laundry basket. Yeah, this is his shaving cream, and this is his laundry detergent. And this is his laundry. This is not going to fit him. It would fit if it were, first of all, plastic. Plastic, 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 so it's not going on any figure. But if it was going to go on somebody, it would go on Donald Trump. No. Um, it would go on, if it could work, it would go on like a Mattel Tommy, like a little boy. It's very small. Equally plastic, equally useless, plastic black socks that would again fit a Tommy. Plastic, unfortunately, not removable from the hanger. Um, it's a football, soccer jersey. Plastic, not removable from hanger, sadly. Um, he also has a little teddy bear. It says "I love you" in English, even though this is a Japanese. Re-Ment is a Japanese company. They do make every for some reason every room set I've ever seen will come with a teddy bear at some point. Like you cannot have a room in Japan and not have a teddy bear. This is his de facto garbage can. The plastic bag does come, it's molded plastic, but it's supposed to be like a plastic bag that you just wrap up in. And this is, a regular bin. Um, just going to turn the camera slightly so you can see it against his foot and how tiny it is. So maybe for a bathroom, maybe for a kid's playroom, but not adult garbage. Interestingly, this, like, also you're supposed to be doing painting. It fits. It works. It's a good size. If you're looking, not that Paolo is going to be doing painting anytime soon. Um, Let me just remove Paolo for a second, and I will show you what else I had set up on his bed. I had a little food tray for him. So you have a bag of opened potato chips, and one of the chips comes out like separate, like he could actually hold it and put it in his mouth, but you would need ticky tape to do that. And then the rest of the pile just goes inside the open bag like this. This is supposed to be a coffee pot, but really I think it's supposed to be for hot water. And what he does is he pours it into his meal, which is a combination of noodles and meat of some kind. If you're looking for realistic, in terms of food, you're going to have to go to somebody like 1/6 Cents or Chef Gina's. This is not where you're going to find it, although the container is kind of cool. And then you also get the doctorate up sauces. There is a very this is interesting. This is a can of beer which has the label already printed on it, which I love because usually with Re-Ment you have to put the labels on. See the shit job I did with this one. But the label is on this, and it is also on this crushed can. So clearly he's already a few sheets to the wind where we find him. The next thing I'm going to show you The next thing I'm going to show you is this is called Re-Ment Station, which is of course supposed to be PlayStation. It does have a little piece that comes right out. That's where you would load the game. There is a smaller green device where you could also put this stick in, and I'm guessing this is supposed to be either the carrying case for the game or a personal PlayStation. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a magazine or this tells you what the game is. And finally, and most interestingly, which I like died laughing that he actually has this. I'm hoping I'm right about this because if I get this wrong, I'll probably hear it from a few people. I think this is supposed to be a little Roomba. That he now has his own little Roomba to sweep up his house. Okay. The other thing I want, this is, now remember when I said that these were supposed to be his clothes? This is supposed to be his couch. This is supposed to be what he can sit in. So I'm going to put this right up here. Turn it sideways so you can see the problem here. I'm going to go with a no on that one. That is definitely not 1/6. That's definitely not going to work in his room. Although I will say that I don't have a PlayStation, so I don't, and it's been a long, long time since I've had a game in the house. I mean, in his hands, this looks about right for 1/6 scale. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. I legitimately don't know. But I do know this is about right controller size. This is the controller, and it is very nicely detailed. It has all the right buttons in the right places. And remember that Paulo does come, and most action figures do now come with gripping hands, so he would be able to grip it. So that does work. He also comes with this very sweet little book. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a yearbook or what, but it does have little documents in it that you can paste into the book. It only has a couple of solid plastic pages. It's not really, I'm not sure how much you could really paste in here. One page looks to be classroom notes. Some more classroom. I hope I'm holding this up correctly, and I apologize if I'm not. More classroom notes. Photos of his friends. This is why I said it was like a yearbook page, because it has photos of his classmates. I think this also goes with the game, so I'm not sure if it goes in the book, but it goes with the game. And then some more yearbook pages. So I think the back comes off. I don't have the nails to do it, but I think the back comes off. and you can just attach them in here. But that would be your choice to do. Oh, the helps. Yep, it's definitely a yearbook. Helps if I look at it the right way. And this is from 2009, so evidently he graduated high school 11 years ago. That's an interesting detail. Now I'm going to pause here and I'm going to reset the scene so you can see, like I said, there is another piece here, but I want you to see how I set up the chest of drawers and how it would look like on a 1/6 scale piece. So as you can see, this is a true 1/6 scale. This is this is a solid chest of drawers where you have a whole little setup. And by the way, these drawers open and I could put stuff in it. And eventually I will. But this is how I set it up to show you the very gold pieces, the clock under the glass, and this mirror came with the dresser. So I'm going to take them off, and everything else that is now on the dresser also came with the men's room set. Now, originally, it was also supposed to fit. The TV is really supposed to go on this, and then, or that stand, the brown stand, is supposed to go on this, and the TV goes on top of that. I decided to set it up this way. So we already talked about how the remotes will fit in his hand. Just going to take a minute to put Paulo back, or at least part of him back in view. So when I need to, I can show you how it would look in his hand. This is a remote for his TV. Again, it's very nicely detailed. It looks a lot like the remote that I use for my cable box. But in terms of how it would look in his hand, it's really tiny. It's very tiny. As you can see, it's very tiny. It lies very flat. Yeah, I guess it's kind of 1/6 scale because I have my Blu-ray player remote is very tiny, so I guess it's kind of 1/6, but not really. The screen would almost be like a large screen you would use on a desktop. So that's how that piece would work. I literally have no idea what this is supposed to be, but this came with the set. I don't know if it's just some really cool decoration he has in this house, or it's supposed to be a coaster for his drink. I literally have zippo idea. If you notice, that says base, but it's really supposed to be Bose. And it is a soccer match on TV, and Japan is winning. He has a trophy for some reason. Maybe from his days playing soccer. On one side, it would have the gold plate, but no inscription. And in his hand, it is it's very small. This would be more appropriate again if, like, you have a Tommy or a child doll. This would be more appropriate for a child doll. But the other pieces do sort of make sense. for a figure. Um, Even though he's drinking like a ridiculous amount of beer, he's also into fitness drinking. This says Zeus. It's a protein shake. This is the protein shake container. Um, in his hand, it would be a very small, oops, in his hand, it would be very small. It would not be a very big glass of protein shake at all. Which is surprising because this in his hand, which is supposed to be like cleaning wipes, that's about the right size of a container of like cleaning wipes or the to antibacterial wipes. So that's about the right size. So that container is correct. This does not come out. This is not an actual paper, but it's about the right size. So this is, I think, right by now, if you're hearing this, you're getting that Re-Ment is very uneven when it comes to pieces. This is the mirror that came with it. It's okay. I mean, that's the size of it, so it's not terribly huge, but for like a bathroom, for a male or female bathroom, it works. These close to reveal other compartments on the side where you could put stuff, like his trophy. So this is a nice piece to have, and it would be cool to have to use as a stand. This says cat. It's supposed to be some kind of cream. I've got nothing for what it could be used for. I'm going to have to ask somebody, and maybe they'll tell me. Now that I'm thinking about it, these are probably chopsticks that go with his meal. But these are incense sticks to give the room a little mood. And then the last thing is the infamous stuff tray. And you just put your stuff on it. The stuff being a watch, his keys, which are not posable. You can't, they're basically set in this position. You can't move it. And a tiny ring, which you probably can't see until I put it on Paulo's hand, which I will do. I'm just surprised by the way that Paulo didn't get a ring, so. And if you do put it on, it fits very nicely as a pinky ring. It's a very nice little pinky ring. This is the timepiece he came with from Integrity Toys. I'm just going to slip it off right now. And this works very, very well as a 1/6 scale watch. So this proportion is correct for the 1/6 scale. Now his keys. Oh wow, the keys fit very nicely this way. Well, the ring just came off, which is okay. Even on fashion royalty, they will come off. But yeah, the angle is just about right for him to be able to hold it. this way. So these also work in 1/6. Oh, is one other piece which I have here, or thought I had here, that has suddenly, there it is. This is supposed to be like a Norelco or a Remington electric razor for him. And I was very excited to get it because I hadn't seen one in 1/6 scale, and I'm praying that this is going to work. So, yep, in his hand. And obviously he has his suit jacket on, but in 1/6 scale, men are not terribly posable. But yeah, he can hold it. That's his razor. The razor works. So we got very lucky here. So what is the overall takeaway message from this? The overall takeaway message is when you get a Re-Ment set, you need to be very careful. You almost have to go piece by piece. You have to really go piece by piece to see if these are going to work. And luckily, in this case, a lot of these pieces do work. And really, the only pieces that are really problematic are the couch and the clothes. The couch and the clothes. Which is basically literally called sofa, uniform, and laundry. Otherwise, everything in here works. You may have to play with it and finesse it a little bit, but this is a good set to get. If you can find it, you can usually find these on eBay. Hobby Lobby, not Hobby Lobby. I will put Hobby Lobby is US. I will put Ami in Japan. I think it's called Hobby Search. We'll have it. eBay obviously has it. I'll put a link in the description below to various people who have it. At this point, your best bet would be to try to get it on eBay. Keep in mind, though, if you are having it shipped from overseas, there may be some trouble. You may be paying more shipping wise only because of everything that's going on with the mail. So for Barbara and for Paolo and for Re-Ment, thanks for staying through this. And in my next review, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to have a 1/6 scale bed, a 1/6 scale woman, and we're going to do the ladies' room. And we're going to talk about how those different pieces can sync up 1/6 wise. Thanks for sticking around, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.